On this video, I'm gonna talk about how to stay poor. By the way, I know it sounds funny. Like, why would you teach us how to stay poor, Joseph? No, that's not the concept. The concept is if you know what are the things that you can do and they can keep you poor, then you can avoid them. I remember back when I was in primary school, we used to have multiple choices answer where you have A, B, C, D. So you have to, when you read the question and then you look for, see, for example, you say, hey, name the part labeled X. Then you start first. If you do not know the right answer, you look for the wrong answer. Then you eliminate it. At least you'll be remaining with two answers. Now you can choose between the two. At least you have two choices to pick from rather than having the four of them. So when I say how to stay poor, you find out or identify these things that I'm about to discuss. Then you avoid them as plague. And if you're having any, don't panic. You can actually avoid them. Are we together? This is good, Joseph, all the time. By the way, if you're watching me for the first time, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe. And by the way, this is my number out there. If in case you need my services at a personal level, of course, you can actually give me a call and then we can have a discussion. Anyway, let's get on the business. Now, how to stay poor. First character or first thing that you need to do for you to stay poor is to watch TV all days. Unless you're watching something that is growing you, not entertaining you, educating you. See, for you to stay poor is to watch the TV all the day and hang around with friends who are not even growing you in any way. Are we together? If you just do that kind of thing, you know what I'm simply saying? Channel yourself or channel your energy towards a comfort. I remember there was a time we had, difficult times, and some of those guys still watch my videos. I remember there was a time early in the morning at around 9 a.m. I visited one of my friends, and some other friends actually showed up. And I remember we were like five of us in the morning, 9 a.m. in the morning, and we are five of us seated somewhere, sunbathing. And it was actually a working day. And I told the guys, you know what, guys, this is very dangerous. And the guys were like, why are you telling us it is? I mean, you are just a call away. I could just call you and then you showed up. This is why you are here. And we are five of us, none of us having a job. If today we have a bill, if today we, don't you see, guys, a danger for us being here in this? And I told you guys, the day that we will be somewhere very busy, you doing your things, me doing my things, to a point whereby if I call you, we can hardly get the five of us at this particular hour. That's the time you know now we are changing and life is changing towards our life. Today, if I take my phone and call them, if I take this phone and call them, probably I may not even get two of them to have a session with me because everyone is busy. And they called me and they told me, by the way, you said something that is so much true. So the moment you realize that you're watching the TV all day and at the same time you're actually hanging around with friends whom you're not growing each other, talking politics, thinking who you should eliminate in this next coming general election, thinking that if you change person A with the person B, your life will change, fixing or living or having your hope upon the politicians, thinking that a politician A will change your life. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. That is actually one of the biggest signs that you're gonna stay poor for a long period of time. Number two is actually having no goals. Hey, this one I have to put it on the board. Number one is watching TV all day, watching TV all day. Okay, number two is having no goals. I know this sounds like funny. You're about to say, oh my goodness, Joseph, are you saying there are people who doesn't have goals, who don't have goals? Yes, they are there. There are people who don't have goals. You find somebody just operating on a free gear. Yes, the guy is just aimless. And by the way, this is the funny thing about life. When you aim at nothing, you always hit the target. What? Yes. When you aim at nothing, you always hit the target. See, when you operate in life where you are goalless, then you lack purpose. Then you lack motivation. You lack zeal. You lack the reason why you should wake up early in the morning. You lack the reason why you should watch Good Joseph's video and maybe learn something. You lack the reason why that money needs to be saved because you don't have a goal. And when you do not have a goal, then the money that you're getting, if you happen to be lucky and you're working, because nowadays working is actually you get lucky, you tend to have a lot of idle cash because you are not a goal-oriented individual. You know the reason why people stick to their budget? Because they are being guided by the goal that they are having. So if you do not have any goal, that it means you're going to have a lot of idle cash. Because I mean, after all, the cash that you have, it is always in excess, according to your view. And when you already have the cash in excess, it's always actually be termed idle, and that money can be used by anything. So as a human being, as a living soul, you must have a goal. For example, even cows and animals known to have the lowest IQ, they have a goal. When you go to a cow shed and open for those cows and go out there, they have a goal to put their heads down to eat as much as they can and drink water, and then they come back home. They have a goal. So as a human being, you ought to have a goal, because that is what disciplines us, is what keeps us motivated and purposeful. The other reason, or the other way to stay poor, by the way, don't forget about this, this is quite interesting, is waiting for miracles. Yeah, we have a lot of people who are waiting for miracles. Yeah, let me put this on board. Waiting for miracles. Waiting for miracles. Or should I, let me put it the other way around. Being hopeful. Being hopeful to be rich. Hopeful to be rich. You are just hopeful. You have hope. Or, or should I substitute this, the word hope, with faith? You have faith to be rich. And there is nothing wrong with having faith. By the way, there's nothing wrong. But there's something wrong having faith without actions. Even my Bible itself tells me that faith without action is dead. See, faith is there. True, faith is there. See, faith gives you the, the ability to pursue the things that you don't see. You know, faith is taking the first step, even though you don't see the rest of the staircase. But you just believe, you know what, if I follow this route, you're just faith. And for me, I find it's interesting and important to have some elements of faith inside of yourself. Because there's some things that, for example, I'm assuming that if I make this video, I will have time to sit down and edit and upload it, and I'm hopeful that you guys will watch it. But assuming that I didn't take this microphone, this camera, and this pen and stand before this camera and record this video, but I was hopeful that I will upload a video. Which video will I upload if I did not record it in the first place? You get me? Even me, I'm still faithful and hopeful, but there is an action attributed to that. I am making this video right now. Now, at this particular hour, I'm making this video, I'm not hopeful. I'm taking the action of making the video. What I'm wishing and hoping is that when I upload the video, is that you like it. And that's why I told you at the beginning of this video, come on, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. I'm hopeful. I cannot control you to like this video. Neither can I control you to leave a comment on this particular. I can't. That part I can only be hopeful and wishful that you can do it. But I cannot just keep quiet and I assume you will like the video and leave a comment. I have to tell you. So there must be an action attributed or connected to that what I'm saying or doing. So most people, they just waiting for miracles. You are hopeful. You can't wish to be wealthy. You can't hope. Hope is not a strategy. It is not a strategy. Creation of wealth, it is intentional. Truly speaking, you need some element of luck for you to be wealthy. That one I cannot deny. You need God's blessing if you're a believer. If you're not, or which I wonder why you shouldn't be, you call it luck. For sure, you need some elements of luck for you to be wealthy or to create wealth. But as much as you do that, there's some elements of you being an action-oriented. You have to be intentional. Can you imagine you get somebody somewhere seated eating a junky food, and they have a very big pot belly and just relaxing, and then they are telling you they have a plan of running the marathon come the next Olympics, and they are hopeful and wishful that they will win it. Would you believe that story? Probably not. You won't buy that story. Why? Because the behavior that they are attributing or showing right now, it does not give an implication that indeed they are working for that particular thing. What if you meet somebody early in the morning sweating, you know, quite of a thin guy or sizable guy running and telling you, hey, I'm wishful that the next coming Olympics, I'm going to show up there and I'm going to win. Probably you might actually buy that idea because, I mean, the dude is running or the wonderful lady is learning. So that is what we say. Don't be wishful and waiting for miracles to happen. And this is how people wait for miracles. Number one, you go to church just being told receive and you're a poor manager. You must attribute to have the good essence of managing. God stops growth where there is no management. You must be able to manage that what you're getting. If you're financially indisciplined and someone is telling you receive, that nothing will ever happen, by the way. Nothing will ever happen. You must have the sense of discipline. And number two, you find people fixing their hope upon politicians. No, those are guys looking for jobs. Nobody's in a business of making, let's say you elect a politician A. Politician A has a friend, close friends, has a brother, has a sister, has a mother, has a father, has cousins. Before he covers all those guys and reaches to you, he has even a county, he has a region, before they even reach to you, it's like we Kenyans fixing our hope upon Trump. Trump has a whole nation of him behind him, the whole America. That's why he says America first. No, nobody is in a business of making, no, by the way, nobody cares. That's the what I should say. Nobody cares. If you don't wake up and go do your things, Nobody does. Well, if you let me stay there, I can actually spend a lot of time there because I have seen a lot of people they getting themselves into that, especially young generation. They're still on denial, excuse me. Now, this one might be sound controversial. Football all day. That's actually a sign of you becoming poor. Football all day. You're telling people, oh, we beat you. Next weekend we shall do something. We. Who is we? You and who? Oh, I'm a certain football fan. We gonna beat you next time. This time, who? You and who? You're saying that, oh, those are my fans. I love them. Yeah, you love them, but they don't. Oh, we are winning. No, you're not winning. They are winning. It's not you. Someone is getting paid. I don't be like, oh, Joseph, but Joseph, I'm watching that to be entertained. Why would you entertain yourself when you're broke? You shouldn't. You're not supposed to be in a business of entertaining yourself. You're supposed to be in a business of educating yourself. It is good when at least you have even the capacity to go there and watch. I'm not saying that you should always watch football when you are there physically. And I don't want to sound controversial here. Football is great. You can actually take your time. It's actually a whole investment. And those who win, oh my, I don't know whether I should even discuss this. This one can actually go way deeper. I'm not saying the people should never watch football because there's somebody who will just take that bite and say, Joseph said that everyone should not be watching football if you are broke. No, I didn't say that. I said, before you say we won, we beat you, we're going to beat you, first of all, identify who are you saying, who is we, you and who. Maybe you and fellow guys, but not those guys who are playing there. When we win, we won. Not use them who won because they're the one who are getting reward. You're not. You're just releasing the dopamine hormone and feeling good, and then you sleep very well. The point is this, guys, consuming these bread and circus all the time, having fun, and then you're denying away your what you call your goal. Somebody's snatching away your attention to a point whereby you can't even concentrate on your life. And find somebody drinking alcohol all day. You are rarely sober, so you don't even know how you feel, or you don't even know who you have never you never had a meeting with you when you're sober. You don't even know who is you because you are rarely sober. Someone asked me, Joseph, you don't take alcohol, how then do you survive? Do you just survive on a very sober head? Don't you feel like some pressure? I'm like, no, that's the time I feel good. I asked them, why do you feel the pressure? He said, hey, man, I just feel like I need to get something in my head. So now you've intoxicated your body to a point whereby you are rarely sober. So the point is, as much as you're watching those footballs, entertainment, and what have you, just for example, when I go for an outing, this is I'm not telling you be like me, but this is how I am. Let's say even if I'm going for a vacation, I don't know, sometimes it's not even a vacation or what. I go for a vacation, I look for opportunities at the same time. You can find me going for a vacation somewhere, and I'm also marking out some areas where, where business can I start here? What actually is, by the way, is it a place that I can actually migrate and live here? I mean, is it a livable place? By the way, how do people survive here? How much is their income in this particular place? Or by the way, I try to find out who can we say is who in this particular area, who has my money, and what does he do? Like you find I'm in a vacation, but at the same time I'm learning. So because every time you have to learn, every time you have to learn. Well, that message might not be gotten by many, but that's the reality. The other part is also having something called the negative mindset. I have talked about this. I don't know whether you're ready for me to talk about this again. Negative mindset, the scarcity mindset, a mindset believing that money is not there. We were having a discussion with somebody somewhere, was telling me that money is a scarce commodity. It's not. Just because you don't have it does not mean it's not there. Just like those people who don't believe that God exists, just because you don't believe doesn't mean it's not there. Anyway, I know you. If I say that, you're about to open another discussion. But the point is, cease having negative mindset. Have the plenty or plentiful mindset, like, abundance, mindset of abundance. It can be done. It can happen. It is doable. If someone else is doing it, I can also do it. But before you say I can also do it, find out what they had to do for them to be able to do it. And then in that regard, then you can embark on doing it. So that is exactly how you go about it. And the last one is actually blaming others. This is a situation whereby you find somebody blaming others for their own failures. You find somebody, is not responsible. You're not self-accountable, is blaming others. Oh, you know what? I slapped you because you did this. It has to be, no, come on. Stop blaming others. And I remember when I graduated, I blamed a lot of people, starting all the way from my parents to the government, to the neighbors, to the wealthy people. By the way, when you're broke, you tend to hate the wealthy. You tend to think these guys are wealthy because I'm poor. Or rather, these guys are, because I'm poor because these guys are wealthy. It's like they took all the cash. No, cash is in plenty. It's only that for now you don't have a system that you can be able to tap a lot of it. And if you're willing to learn and go through what they went through, you can actually be able to create that. I know that sounds like a motivation, but it's not. It's the reality. So stop blaming others. Start being self-accountable for yourself. Otherwise, if you assume all those characters that I've shared with you, then you're gonna taste that poor kind of lifestyle. And I really hope you don't do that, by the way. We are here to help each other. Not because I have a manual for life, not because that I know everything, but I have something that I can share with you. Go ahead and cease doing all those things, and well, I can assure you something will change. See you the next time.